CES is next week and I need a laptop to go there with. MacBook, no good. Total junk because Mac OS is garbage. Dell XPS 15, fantastic laptop. I don't want to be that idiot that's sitting there in the corner having to charge their laptop while writing down notes. That's stupid. Instead, I got this guy right here, and I think it's the best thin and light laptop on the market. Oh, look at this. Here we have the HP Dragonfly Elite G3, and I am friggin' stoked. Ever since I looked at the Surface Laptop 5, I have just wanted to go back to that 3x2 display, but the Surface Laptop just, it isn't quite there. This though, we looked at the old version, and it was pretty good, but it was just kind of a bit too small because of the 16:9 display. This one is 3x2. Now you might have noticed that here we have a really nice like blue color on the box. Unfortunately, I just got plain business silver, but I did have a fix for that. I'm sorry HP, but this thing went to D-brand before I got it. One problem of this MacBook that I didn't bring up before is that it does not have a scorpion on the back. I absolutely love this right here. Turns out Linus is afraid of scorpions, and we're leaning into it this time. Ha ha! Scorpion with a sword, look at that! I absolutely love it. It's the best. Thank you so much, D-brand. You've made my day. Okay, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. What else is in the box? Power cord. And the charger is 65 watts. I appreciate that because a lot of devices in this class will only come with like a 45 watt charger or so, and it takes way longer to charge up the battery. First thing that is awesome about this is the weight. This thing comes in at 2.8 pounds, which is just around 1.2 kilograms. That's awesome because this is like deadly close to the LG Gram, but it's nowhere near that in build quality. This thing, so well made. Just for comparison, XPS 15, 4.3 pounds, heaps more. MacBook Pro 14, 3.5, again, heaps more. Very noticeable in your backpack. This thing right here, I don't even notice it. I/O on this thing is also exceptional. So right here we have Thunderbolt 4. This right here is where a SIM card can go if you want wireless connectivity. Friggin' wicked. Also full-size HDMI. Is this 2.1 or just 2? Just 2, boo. We also have a full-size Type A. Absolutely love it. So many devices just don't have USB Type A. I have been enjoying my life so much more now that I don't need dongles. Also another Thunderbolt 4 and a Kensington lock to round it all out. One of my absolute favorite things about this though, look at this. Look at that. It's rounded. Who would have thought? The whole feel of this thing is just so incredibly soft. Like it's the softest feeling laptop that I've felt since like the Surface laptop with the Alcantara on it. It is just so nice. HP has what they call their pillow corners on it. It's so stupid that on the XPS 13 Plus, I needed to take a frickin' deburring tool to the edge because it was so sharp. Everyone, just absolutely love it. The star of the show here though is the 3x2 display, and that's for two reasons. So it's 13.5 inches, and because it's so tall, it also gives you extra space for the trackpad and just the palm rest. This means that like a normal person with normal sized hands can just use it and not have their hands like falling off the back. So many 13-inch devices, like half of people will have their hands just falling off the edge. XPS 13s and like a lot of the other ones, it'll be like 45% of people are able to use it comfortably. Stupid. Before we get into it though, I need to tell you about our sponsor, iFixit. Thanks to iFixit for sponsoring today's video. The new Fix Mat helps you stay organized through your repair process with 6 easy access sorting bins for screws and small components. The powerful magnetic sheet ensures tiny parts stay put and helps you avoid runaway screws. With the included roll-away proof dry erase pen, labeling and relabeling your projects has never been easier. So quit screwing around and keep your screws in line with the Fix Mat. Find it in the link down in the description. For unlocking the laptop, you have 2 options. First of all is facial recognition, which is not working right now, but it's fine because there's also fingerprint reader. There we go. Starting off in the laptop, we have the keyboard. This is like one of the best keyboards that I've ever used on a laptop. It's like probably the snappiest laptop keyboard that I've ever felt, and that's kind of, it has its pros and its cons. So if you're sitting at a desk like this, It's an A+, like even an A++, one of the best laptop keyboards I've ever felt. Problem is, because the actuation force is higher than most laptops, it's kind of difficult to get the actuation quite right if you're holding it like this. Not something most people do, but given that I'm walking around at CES and crap, it's a thing you end up doing. Also, this trackpad is frickin' phenomenal. It is glass topped, and I don't know how they did it, but it is just so soft. It feels so good gliding your finger over this. I might like it more than the MacBook Pro. It's that good. Personal preference decides which one of these you like more, but also it's a Windows laptop that we're comparing to a MacBook Pro, so that's like mega win. Oh yeah, I forgot before, but the most impressive thing about that weight is the amount of chassis flex there is, or the amount of chassis flex there just is not. Nothing at all. That's how they're able to get such a nice and snappy keyboard on a lot of laptop chassis. If you have keys with this much weight, the whole thing would be flexing and it would be a terrible experience. They're able to get away with it because of just how freaking stiff this thing is. Okay, I do have one annoyance. I just turned airplane mode on, and it's something that I've done a couple of times by accident. There's a button for it right here, like one of your function keys is taken up by airplane mode. There's no pause play. You can't pause or play your media. There's an empty key right here, HP. F2 could have been pause or play. How many times a year do you guys use airplane mode? How many times do you use pause play? That's stupid, HP. This is made even worse by the fact that right here there is a programmable macro key, and you're able to do loads of things with it. You can program strings, you can have it open programs, you can have it do pretty much anything under the sun. But do you know what's not an action that they have here? No pause play there, HP! Come on! One thing about this that's it's sort of good, sort of not great is the display. So this right here is a 1920 by 1280 screen, so that's 3x2, love that. But the resolution, that's not quite high enough. Like it's really noticeable, like I can't easily have like a script and emails open at the same time on this. There's just not enough real estate. Like I'd really like to have it sort of like that, like 125. There's just not enough pixels to pull that off. I need to go to 150. Also, you might have noticed this is a matte display and the colors are fine. It is color calibrated from the factory, so it is accurate, and I do trust the display. It's just nothing special to look at. Like yeah, you get used to it after a while, but coming from like a MacBook Pro or an XPS 15 with an OLED display, it's not quite there. That said, there is a 4K OLED panel option for this that I'm sure looks spectacular and solves all of the gripes that I have with it, but also that sacrifices 4 hours of battery life. Not worth it, not worth it for me. Another huge problem with this is the response times of these pixels. They are freaking brutal. Like it's probably like a good 40, 50 milliseconds here. Like I don't know if you can see even just the trails on this mouse. It's so bad. Like compare it to like an OLED, it's very noticeable, even when you're using a trackpad, even if you're just watching YouTube videos. Like first of all, you can just see the black levels there. And I don't know if you can tell the difference in response times by me just doing this. But like this mouse, I can move so much faster. And this one, it's just, it's gross. But I am more than willing to put up with that for the 15 hours of actual battery life that this thing gets. It's like a MacBook. It's actually like a MacBook. With the MacBook Air, you can get like 17 real world hours. This is as close as you can get. I've had it set so that battery saver is always on, and that's kind of fixed my gripes with Windows Modern Standby. I left it here on Thursday. It is now Tuesday. I've lost maybe 10% battery life. That's how Windows Modern Standby should work. And it seems like if you just always have battery saver on, it does help quite a bit. That said, that comes with the complications that your laptop just always runs slower while on battery and you don't get the full screen brightness. And yeah, it's not a great hack, but it does seem to work. Also, one thing that I just realized is that our Windows facial recognition did not work because our camera isn't enabled. When you press this button, there's a little physical shutter that goes over your camera. It's nice, it's just a little piece of privacy that I appreciate in something like this. All right, let's have a look at the specs. For the processor, we get an Intel i7-1265U and it has Intel V Pro. Chances are you do not care about that, but if you work at a large company, your IT team very much does. This allows just things like remote management, pushing updates from somewhere else. It also has features like BIOS recovery, so if your BIOS gets corrupted because, I don't know, the sun got too horny that day. What, it's a real thing, Brandon. Bit flips are a problem. Now, the 1265U is not a particularly powerful processor. We do get 10 cores, but only 2 of them are performance cores. This is great for a laptop like this because it allows you to have all-day battery life. It isn't so great if you want to do something that's anything besides looking at a script, but I don't care. For RAM, we get 16 gigabytes of 48 megahertz DDR5. That means that in theory you could have a SODIMM, but in practice I'm sure that they don't. We also have a 512 gigabyte SSD from WD, Intel Wi-Fi 6E, love it, excellent Wi-Fi chip. For graphics, we get the Intel Iris Xe, and this one has the 96 compute units, which means that it should actually be half decent for gaming, but going back to the response time of the pixels on the display, doesn't matter, gaming can be terrible. Now that we have the camera enabled though, let's just have a little look here. This camera seems like it's really great. This is the 5 megapixel camera that they introduced a little while ago. I think it was even on the Dragonfly line, and it is one of the best ones that you can get on a laptop. I think it might be 1440p. Oh, it is. Okay, so I can choose 1440p. So you get more pixels on your webcam than you do on your display with this config. All right, here we go. Yep, this does a fantastic job. There's one thing that HP has done so well that's just above and beyond everyone else, and that's being able to expose for someone's face on a webcam, no matter the conditions. Like, look at this light. Doesn't matter. Look at this black. It's not trying to compensate for any of that. It's only looking at my face, and that's the only thing it's exposing for. We can spin around here. Wow, this is like possibly the most challenging situation you could have. But my face is still exposed just fine. It doesn't care that this is all blown out. Doesn't matter. We're only looking at my face. Excellent job, HP. This might be the best webcam that there is on a laptop. No, that XPS 13 2-in-1 was also really good. You guys can fight it out. I don't care. They're both really good. For speakers, we do get the ones from B&O, and HP typically does a really good job with the speakers on their laptops. I think it's gonna get murdered by the MacBook Pro though. Nice. It sounds really wide. Like it's kind of staging, which is nice. Oh, and it's got some speakers right here as well. Dang! That sounds good. That sounds really good. It might not get murdered. Lightly maimed maybe, but not murdered. Okay, HP Elite Dragonfly. MacBook. I'm gonna call that a draw. The Mac has more bass, but it's like super aggressive. So it feels a lot muddier. Like you can hear a lot more definition in the bass in the HP. And also, I think because of the downfiring speakers, the stage is way wider on the EliteBook. Like it sounds like it's this large, whereas the MacBook sounds like you have a speaker here and a speaker here. So excellent job. That's like the first Windows laptop besides the XPS 15 that's like even come close. What doesn't come close though? Oh, this display, not even close. In fairness, the HP does get up to 400 nits, but because it's a matte display, it doesn't have anywhere near the vibrancy. And yeah, the black levels, nowhere close to the MacBook. Amount of color, this thing's just sRGB, nowhere close. Not that this is bad. Again, it's color accurate, so like I don't hate it. You just get used to the fact that like it's kind of boring looking. Anyway, I guess we have to game on it now. It's gonna be a slaughter. Oh, one thing that I forgot to mention about the display though, there is an option for HP's SureView, and that is a panel where you like press a button and you can only see the screen when you're straight on. If you're looking at it from like here, nothing. You can just see like garbage. For most people, I'd highly recommend staying away from the SureView panel because it just makes everything look awful, just so bad. But at the same time, if you are going to be working on like documents on planes or you need to go out in public and so on, yeah, it does it. It does the job. As I'm sure you guys guessed, we will not be screen recording this. She's gonna have enough trouble on her own. You know she's struggling when the menu is having trouble. If we can get low 720p, I think I'll be happy. Oh, wow. Getting 12 FPS in the menu. This is better than expected. We are getting a very cinematic 24 FPS, sometimes dropping to like 4. 1024 by 768 is as low of a resolution as we can get. That got us to 26, 27 FPS. I don't think you're gonna have a good time with this. You don't even have to worry about the fact that the response times of pixels are garbage, because the response times of this GPU is even worse. So don't game on it. That's my conclusion. All right, teardown time. Oh, HP. I really hope you didn't put screws under this. Oh, we're HP good guys? Oh, wow, look at that. They didn't put screws underneath the feet. Good job, guys. Yep, that's about what I expected. It's mostly battery in here. So you get a 68 watt hour battery in this guy. Exceptional for a laptop of this class. It's like, this thing's the same size as the Surface Laptop 5 that has a 45 watt hour battery in it. That's what makes this laptop why I want it. Nice battery on a Windows machine. It's not powerful, so even if Windows Modern Standby tries and screws you up, it can't do too much of a dent. There's only 2 performance cores. Yeah, that's a pretty anemic heatsink. Look at the size of these fans. They're just little boys. I'm not going to pull it off because it's putting up a bit of a fight, but the SSD is under this heat shield right here, so you can swap that out. Now, looking in here, we also have the Fibocom 5G module right there. The antennas, if you look, go up here and they terminate. I don't quite understand how the antennas work in this thing. I haven't had any issues, but they're just like in the chassis right here, and I don't understand how that gets out, because this whole chassis is, some sort of magnesium, aluminum, something that's all been CNC machined. We also have our little Intel chip here that you cannot replace, but also who cares, you already have the best one. Looks like RAM's up here under this little heat spreader. Because this is a business laptop from HP, there's a good chance that everything in here can be replaced if you do screw it up. Like, it looks like battery comes out and then you can access the touchpad. I don't want to comment on the keyboard, but there's a good chance you can replace it, or your tech can replace it. I don't think you really want to. So there it is, the HP Dragonfly Elite G3. This thing is freaking exceptional. As far as being a thin and light goes, I don't think there's a better Windows laptop on the market, and I would absolutely love to just recommend all of you go out and buy it right now. Problem is, you probably can't. So the Dragonfly Elite G3 starts at $2,780, and this one, as configured, is over $3,700. That's a pricey boy. If you can find this thing on sale, it is a fantastic laptop and I absolutely love it. If you can't find it on sale, I hope you have a company that's willing to give you something like this, because it is a fantastic laptop. I absolutely love it. And it's what's going to CES with me. See you there. Anyway, if you like this video, hit like, get subscribed. I'm gonna try and get some more budget-friendly options on here. The HP Pavilion, we looked at that a little while ago. Maybe go watch that video. It's like the same laptop, except $800. Anyway, have a great day.